Now, the big story this afternoon is this JobKeeper misreporting by $60 billion. This is a response from leader Anthony Albanese of the Labor Party a short time ago. Just into the newsroom, let's take a look.
6.5 million people who are on JobKeeper, but 3.5 million. It's not a $130 billion cost, but $70 billion. Blows any previous mistake when it comes to economic figures in Australian history right out of the water. This is a mistake you could have seen from space. And this is a government that couldn't run a bath, let alone be good economic managers. The fact is that if you can't get this right, how can this government get the economic recovery right? And the real problem here is that there are real-world consequences for Australian working people who are doing it tough. Australian working people who've missed out on support because the government has abandoned them, because the government said its program was fully subscribed and that the $130 billion had all been allocated, when we know now that that isn't the case. Well, there are 1 million casual workers who've not received support, local government workers who've not received support, entire sectors such as the arts and entertainment sector that have not received support. At the same time, this smug government has time after time repeated figures that are wrong to the tune of $60 billion and wrong to the tune of 3 million workers. This is a government that rejected wage subsidies when it was first proposed, when Parliament first sat during this pandemic, and Labor, unions and business were arguing for it. Because of that, they clearly have not done their homework to get the program right and not had any accountability or measures in place so that they can properly determine how many people were on this program and how much it would cost. One number that we needed to get right is how many workers they were helping. But instead, this is an absolute shambles. And again, the consequence is there for people who are not getting the support that they need, which means that the recovery will take longer, which means that the economic downturn will be deeper, and it means that the consequences are more severe for working Australians who are doing it really tough during this period. The idea that we will ever again listen to Josh Frydenberg and think that he has any credibility at all is gone. The bloke in the government, along with Scott Morrison, who produced mugs saying the budget was already back in black when that simply was not true, that mistake and error of judgment has been blown out of the water by this. They said they couldn't expand the program because they'd drawn a line in the sand. What we know now is that that sand was indeed quicksand, and Australian working people have been sunk by the failure to provide proper support for them at this time.